Hello everyone. I have even more interesting things to share with you, so I will go and get right into it, starting with the EVGA XR1. The EVGA XR1 has my attention because the company claims that it does not need softwares or drivers to function. It has RGB software, for control purposes, but it's considered optional according to the company. If this is all true, then that means this will be so much easier on users and may have good compatibility. Windows updates are notorious for screwing over drivers. I can't even begin to count how many times I've had to reinstall a driver just because of some update. So that's where ease of use comes in. If you can avoid that kind of situation completely, that's awesome. As for potential compatibility, it could work with Linux. For those who haven't watched my prior recordings, I've mentioned 4 distributions by now. Ubuntu Studio, which is for content creators. Then there is Manjaro, Solaris, and Pop! OS. Those 3 are for gaming or other functions. It means that a streamer who streams console games only can avoid paying for Windows for the rest of their streaming time, assuming that EVGA continues to make these. This is a very big deal, and I think that this should be discussed more. The least I can do is mention it in terms of like the product and all the possibilities that could come from this. Okay, moving on. Before we get into what's on my screen right now, I need to do a recap. I've been covering Big Navi's leaks and information for quite some time. From what we know, it's 16 gigabytes of GDR6 with 128 megabytes cache. It will consume 300 watts of power using 2 A pins, and it will cost, at the worst, $600. Big Navi does not need to compete with NVIDIA. As long as it stays within 10% of a 3080's performance, then that means it's already achieving 130 plus FPS in 1440p with gaming. That's going to be more than enough frames for most people. At that point, AMD has already won. Okay, so let's talk about AMD history, as this is going to tie in to the idea and some other things now. In 2015, AMD created the Radeon R9, well, I should say AMD or Radeon created the R9 390X2. It's interesting because this particular video card has 2 GPUs on the card. It's not the first time that a graphics card has had multiple GPUs on its board, but it's certainly one of the first times that we've seen it for gaming. If you look at this page, you'll see that it costed $1,400 on release. AMD has done expensive video cards before, and they have certainly done crazy things like the X2. They haven't really done anything like this since then, to my knowledge, but it may be within the realm of possibility for them to do that. So that brings me now to the idea. If AMD wanted to truly compete with NVIDIA, I mean, even though they don't have to, they could just create a Big Navi X2 version, in which it has 2 Navi chips in it. Assuming that that was done, then that would mean that it would be 32 gigs of memory, and going by current pricing, should be $1,200. Assuming that Big Navi does stay within 10% of a 3080, then 2 of them will for sure crush the 3080 and quite potentially compete with the 3090 directly. It will take 600 watts to do so, but if that's what we have to do, then that's what we have to do. The reason that I think this idea can work now is because if you look at any benchmark, review, or whatnot, PCI Express 4.0 has yet to be saturated. If we can get just a gigantic old video card into a single X16 slot for 4.0 and just unleash multiple GPUs after it, it should be fine, because there's plenty of bandwidth for that to happen. Why you would do this instead of Crossfire is because Crossfire and SLI aren't supported by games anymore, to my knowledge. So putting two of these video cards together won't work. The Big Navi, that is. But if you put two Big Navi GPUs on a single board, then that would work, because it's all going down one lane. It's not requiring Crossfire or SLI. It's an interesting idea, but I don't know if AMD is going to do it. I sure hope they do, because that would be hilarious and pretty interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, it could be done, I guess. So yeah, that's just something to think about, I guess. But for now, that's really all I have to say. Thanks for listening.